How's it going, YouTube? It is Docky or Docky Style Gaming, and I'm back at it with some more Anthem news and information for you all today. Now, this one's not going to be too long because there actually wasn't too much brand new information. So I did put in some other stuff that we've kind of covered, some things that were reiterated on, and then some new announcements about staff, and something that I thought was pretty interesting I put at the very end. But before we get straight into the brand new information, I do want to still say that the 2000 sub video, if you haven't already, go watch it so you can find out how to enter to win Anthem, and the winner of that giveaway will be announced next month at the beginning of it. And if we hit 3,200 subs by that month, we will also be doing another winner. And again, watch the video, all the details are in that. You can find out how to enter and how to potentially win, and even potentially the Legion of Dawn. So without further ado, let's get straight into the news and information that we got this week. So first bit of news was about the Colossus, and they were talking about his shield. Now, they were asking if the Colossus shield could be removable. I'm assuming, I was wondering if they meant melee with it, throw it, something of that nature. And according to Darrah, no, the Colossus shield is not a removable item, which is kind of to be expected, to be honest. Next, they were asking about an anti-cheat system, or if there would be something like that in place, and Darrah did say that yes, there will be an anti-cheat system in place in Anthem. Now, this next question I know I've covered before, and he did say it was pretty early on, but this one he kind of gave us an official time frame. But when asked how many missions will we have to do before we unlock our very first brand new Javelin, and Darrah did say it's still being tuned, but it's likely 1 to 2 missions into the game. So it appears that we'll be able to pick up our very first Javelin very early on at the start of Anthem, which I'm personally fine with because that means we can grind the armor and gear that we want to pretty early on throughout the game. So personally, I'm okay with it, but I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't think it would be that early on, but I thought it would be pretty, you know, I guess a couple missions into the game, but not 1 to 2. That's pretty insane. But still, regardless, I'm pretty happy to hear that because I can grind for all my storm gear immediately, essentially. Now, this next one was about daily challenges and objectives, and yes, Darrah did say there will be daily challenges and objectives in game. I know I've covered this before, but it's been a very long time since I have, so I put it in here anyway. Now, this next question was asking about idle animation, and if we would have customizable ones or different ones. And according to Darrah, he said we wouldn't have them at launch, but just for those who don't know what they are, I guess if you play Warframe, you know that every Warframe has multiple animations when they're just standing there, their movements, their styles, if you're not actually doing anything with them, and you can mix and match them between different Warframes. So that's, I believe, is what they mean by that. And again, he said not at launch, so that could be something that could potentially come in the future, but I guess we'll have to wait to see. Now, this next question is actually kind of interesting. They asked if the Colossus is the only tank in the game, or if other Javelins could essentially fill this tank role. What Darrah had to say on this was that he is good at aggro control, but anyone can tank in theory, essentially. So any of the Javelins can actually tank. I'm assuming that, you know, whether it be damage or certain gear that lets them be able to do this, but the Colossus isn't strictly the tank of the team. So, you know, keep that in mind when you pick your Javelins, and when you're gearing them up as well. Now, this one I know I've covered before, but when asked about the color options and personalization, Darrah did say that you can unlock your colors and personalization options by playing through the game. It's not going to be something that you are strictly limited to purchasing. You can unlock everything via gameplay. Now, this next question, I'm extremely excited how it's kind of evolved, actually. So when first asked about interchangeable or different ultimates, they originally said this is something they'd like to look into. Then previously they were like, well, this is something that we probably would want to do, but not at launch. And then again, they went on to say if they were to do it, it would have to be tied towards gear. So now when asked, they said not talking post-launch, but it's a piece of gear like everything else. So this does seem like this is something they're going to implement in the game, just who knows when, and it'll clearly be post-launch of the game. So clearly when they say not at launch, that doesn't necessarily mean no. That just seems like if it's something that they can physically do in a certain amount of time and manage to do while still developing the game, they'll probably try and get it out for launch if they can, but if not, that doesn't necessarily mean no. So I'm glad to hear that that's something that they're looking into and will potentially be getting post-launch of Anthem's release. Now, this next question I know I've covered on the channel before, and they were asking about the customization, the loadouts and things of that nature, where we'd be able to actually change it at. Darrah did say that loadouts, weapons, and gear can be changed only at Fort Tarsis and your Strider. So again, I know I've covered this on the channel, but I always treat all my videos like this is the first time somebody's watching my videos. So even though it may not be new information to you, it may be new information to somebody else. So I treat it like that. Now this next question comes from a fellow Storm Master Race fan. They said they're looking on manning the Storm at the launch of the game. Are there any downsides to the Storm? So what Mark Darrah had to say that it is fragile, but it can maneuver very well. So that's something we all knew. We knew it's the glass cannon. We knew it does a lot of DPS and can't take a hit really. But again, if you're not getting hit, you don't have to worry about that. Just deal as much damage as you can, maneuver, stay away. You have a teleport, you have an overshield when you're hovering. You should be good. So that's that. Now these next two questions are about Javelin specific weapons. Now I know I've kind of covered this before briefly, but he actually went and said some other weapons that other Javelins couldn't use. So we're talking about the Colossus. They said the Colossus couldn't use pistols. Now that I have covered on the channel before. Now when asked about the Ranger, he said the weapons that the Ranger can't use are heavy guns. I'm assuming Colossus type weapons, and he also said like miniguns. So that is something. So I'm sure there will be Interceptor and Storm weapons that they can't specifically use, but I guess we'll find out later on in the game's life cycle, or as they reveal it. Next question, I guess it's just a lore question. I'm not sure if it's going to play too big of a role in the game. I mean, we do know factions do play a role in it, but they were just asking if the freelancers themselves are a faction, and according to Mark Darrah, yes, they are a faction in the game. And the last Mark Darrah related question was about the difficulty system. So when asked about it, he did actually confirm that the difficulty system will be similar to Diablo, assuming once you hit your hardest difficulty, it'll escalate in tiers after that. So I thought that's pretty cool, and for all you Diablo fans, you know exactly what that means. Now this next bit of Anthem information is an announcement for a new associate producer on Anthem, and her name, and I'm probably going to butcher the last name, but it's Jen Cheriviv or Cheriviv, but that is one of the new associate producers on Anthem. And then this last topic I'll end off with Mike Gamble's Anthem Moment of the Week. So for those of you who don't know, they do Anthem playtest at the end of every week. They talk about a highlight from it or something that they really enjoyed from their playtest. And Mike Gamble's was pretty nice, and I think all of us Storm Master Race fans are going to appreciate it. So when asked on Twitter what Mike Gamble's Anthem moment of this week was, he did say that at the end of a 4-player stronghold on veteran difficulty where he was a Storm and another dev was a Colossus, he continued to say that they barely made it out or survived due to the lucky use of the Storm's ultimate move. So, you know, there you guys have it. The Storm's ult and DPS came in for the clutch. So we all know why the Storm is truly the master race. Now, I'm just messing. All of you guys, y'all feel free to rep whatever jabs y'all want. Actually, in the comments section, let me know what jabs you're going to be repping at the release of the game. So like I say, leave that in the comments section. Let me know what master race you are going to rep. And if you're still unsure on the fences of which Javelin you want to rep, go check out my Javelin breakdown videos. I did one for all 4 of the Javelins. So, you know, that should help you pick it out, and then come back to the video and let me know what Javelin you plan on repping at the release of Anthem. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys on this video today. Thanks for watching, and again, if you haven't already, go check out my 2,000 sub giveaway to find out how to win Anthem and potentially the Legion of Dawn, and to have multiple people potentially win the game as well. So again, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for the love, thanks for the subs. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.